Ethics and the role of the clergy in public life. We must commend and support every effort that seeks to improve the ethics of men and women in public life. The wrongs that surface are not new. They do, however, place a stigma on the people who serve in public life today and act as a deterrent to others who are competent to serve, but refuse simply because they do not wish to be tarred and smeared. The whole of political life in this country has suffered from the public indictment of gain and not service. How often have you heard it said of someone in public office that he would not be there unless he was getting something out of it? A code of ethics would simply be a way of teaching men and women in public office that the ultimate and paramount duty of those who serve is to enrich and enhance public office by faithfully putting something into it. The ethics we are after can well be missed by those who demand it simply because they're starting at the wrong place. It should be enunciated again and again that the moral ethic of a nation is vested in the homes of the nation. If we would stop teaching our children about the virtues of right and left and start teaching them the moral implications of right and wrong, it would go a long way to cure the ills of political corruption. I venture to say if our children in our schools were asked to learn the Ten Commandments or the Sermon on the Mount, which are the basis of all moral ethics and law, there'd be those who would cry out discrimination from the housetops. Physically, our diet has a lot to do with our proportions. Our moral diet has everything to do with our personal integrity. There is a feeling today that the foundations of our moral order are shaken, that the political corruption has made goodness negative and vice a virtue. Some of the noise is sensational and produces more wind than sail. Our thinking is badly blurred if we imagine that what we are seeing and hearing today regarding the breakdown of public morality is new. I know how many are your transgressions and how great are your sins, you who forget the rights, who take a bribe and turn aside the needy at the gate. This statement sounds like something we have read in our daily newspaper, yet this was the condition in 6 BC. This only confirms that evil, like righteousness, is not something new. The one place where the problems of right or wrong can be adequately solved is the conscience of men. Conscience alone has the faculty to distinguish between right and wrong. There are always two ways open before us, and it is conscience that's enabled us to make the choice. A code of ethics can only function properly at the will of the conscience. It is disturbing when one hears comments that politics is always a dirty business. If that were so, we would not today enjoy such democratic advantages as we now possess, advantages that have been won on the field of honor and human sacrifice. If politics is muddied, it is because the citizens of a municipality or country are content to let it be so. Unless we can arouse in the public a sense of their responsibility, there is little we can do to further the cause of ethics in public life. Unfortunately, there are some who believe that public responsibility, although desirable, must be limited. I'm referring to those people who believe that the clergy, for example, have no right to enter public life. There are people who believe that public office belongs to the politicians and not the ministry. Many believe a clergyman can do a better job on the sidelines, be a spectator rather than a participant. As a pastor, I am daily involved in the moral and ethical welfare of my community. Anything or anyone seeking to destroy what I'm trying to build up, of necessity, must feel the sting of my reproach either by word or presence. There are those who believe that our prestige and dignity will be destroyed in the community. Not sure what people mean by prestige and dignity. I only hope my life and work in this community has a better foundation than dignity and prestige. These are transitory things. They are not abiding. They are like the wind that comes and goes. Many people conceive of the church as a museum piece, set in the community to be looked at, to be revered, to be guarded, and to be kept unsoiled. The minister becomes a curator of this ancient relic. I must say that neither the minister nor the church belongs in this category. We belong to a militant band who in their day turned the world upside down socially, religiously, politically, and ethically. We must know that where there is wrong, there needs righting. The church and her clergy will and must intervene. Already you've heard that as a minister of the gospel, I have not the time to carry on an additional political responsibility. I'd like to point out that many of the people who speak about my time in relationship to this community are very often the people who use my time. I've allowed my ministry to serve all people in this community, regardless of their affiliation. Many that I have served have no affiliation whatsoever with the church. I bury their dead, I visit their sick, I assist them with their domestic problems, I go to jails and courts on behalf of their sons and daughters, I help in procuring pensions for them, I baptize and marry their children, I find them work, I give them letters of reference. My door in my church is always open to all faiths. What I am in effect saying is that nothing in this world can be accomplished without assistance. I will never neglect my Christian responsibility to my church and my youth center, and if the electorate sees fit to place me in office, I will be diligent in the discharge of my duty on their behalf.